Win one. Anyways, fellas, Michael Cheika, our man. I was so happy to wake up Sunday morning and have my feed flooded with Czech highlights. His team went so close to taking down Bath at a packed Twickenham in the sunshine. It looked awesome over there.
Wasn't it good footy? Good footy, good day.
Is that often the weather?
Always.
Yeah, because
at this time of year.
Good.
Yeah, you're back end of it. You play. You rug up from sort of November through to February, maybe even March, and then when you come to the finals and they're down at Twickenham, and it is the grass was pure. It was just a beautiful day and a good day and a good game of footy as well, back and forth. The hits were great. Actually, my daughter asked me who would win out of Best of North and Best of South. Yeah. It would be a great contest.
Please.
I would say it's a great contest, right? Because they play different styles of footy as well.
Chiefs or Crusaders v Bath?
Yeah.
Oh, Chiefs, Crusaders would absolutely towel up Bath. Toulouse and Leinster and, the Northampton, that's a different story.
Oh, of course. But wouldn't it be great to get that going?
That's,
You reckon
Toulouse
them up?
Toulouse a different story. I could see on that dry track.
Yeah, on that dry track.
How good is I've played, I think, one game in June for the Barbars at Twickenham. It's a different world in summer.
Yeah, it's great.
We're used to November, freezing cold, the grass is painted.
And we're trying to play like we're playing in the sunshine. Yeah,
Look
exactly
at
right.
that.
What about this pass here? Why wouldn't you not go the whole way?
I'll tell you why. Because that man's dad played for Bath and the kid grew up idolising his dad as a Bath player.
Okay.
And Finn Russell said he wanted to give him a moment and the family a moment to celebrate. And that's why.
Is that what he said?
100%. Said in the post-game interview. It's Maxi Jomo who scores.
Imagine being able to think that as you're running in.
Oh, yeah. Imagine being able to throw the pass. It wasn't forward as well. They went upstairs.
What if anyone was on Finn Russell, first try scorer?
Anytime. No. So Leicester. So that made it 20-7, but Leicester came roaring back into the fight, fellas. Solomon Kata, who used to be at the Brumbies, before that maybe with the Blues, and a bit of time in the NRL. I think Solomon Kata scored to going for Leicester, and then it all hell breaks loose late with Dan Cole copping yellow for this.
Yeah. Austin Healy said it's a disgrace, but you got contact in the head.
Is there contact in the head?
No, it was for the shoulder, Berkey, I think.
Well, the shoulder to the head, right?
Carl Dixon says shoulder here.
Shoulder to what?
Shoulder. Shoulder to shoulder. You can't shoulder charge people. Ben Young's the Leicester legend, kicked off the back of this. Here's check.
But you can... I wonder what he said to Dricko.
That was at half-time, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was
half-time, yeah.
Oh,
I can't wait to ask Bod when he gets here for line swell what Check said to him.
So good.
And a little smirk.
He just smiled, didn't he?
I could have a guess and tell you what he said.
The old Leicester
change the rating.
It's off the script.
We might have to change the rating.
It's BTP up late.
Where does he go next? Where does he go next?
Mate, he's back in town a couple of days.
Where does Michael Cheika go next? He's too good not to be coaching a top-line team somewhere in the world. If he wants to, I don't even know if he wants to, but if he does, then surely there's a spot for him somewhere, Morgs.
Yeah, there is. And great for Bath, of course. We've seen the celebrations. A great traditional club, been a long time between drinks. The Rec is one of those iconic home grounds where it's not even theirs, it's a public park.
Yes.
In summer they play cricket there, you can walk your dog across it. Great little spot, Bath, of course, so great for them. Michael Cheika, the most impressive coaching resume of an Australian in the game at the moment. How we use a resource like that is up to people smarter than me, but it would be a shame if we had to have our players playing against a team that he was coaching, or if the NRL were brave enough to take him, they wouldn't regret it, that's for sure. There's only so many jobs he can take now. Big international jobs, 5 big clubs around the world, all ones that have an emotional connection to him, I would have thought.
And he picks and chooses, doesn't he?
Yeah. I know there's been lots of offers.
Yeah.
But Wales would have loved to have him. England, if they'd have gone further south, I reckon they would have taken him if they ended up moving on their coach, which they won't now. There's only so many jobs.
What would make him a good NRL coach? We all love our rugby league. What would make him a good NRL coach?
I think he marries both that sort of hard edge and grind you've got to be able to get through. You've got to be able to get your players up in June when they're busted and all that sort of stuff. It's a grind week in, week out. So he's lived that in Europe. a sprint like Super Rugby. So I think having that European knowledge is big. You've got to run a big squad, you've got high turnover, you've got to deal with losing guys to Origin and bits and pieces. So there's all these other bits and pieces there. Had experience helping out the Roosters, so knows the game. I think he's just sort of at the peak of his powers now, where he's very self-aware of... He's one of those few guys that knows what he doesn't know. He's self-aware of what his role is. Great motivator, good footy coach, but also smart enough to get people around him. Had Kidwell there at, running defence at Leicester, had Peter Hewitt there running attack. It's good to see some Australians doing well there. I just think lots of those ingredients mean it'd be really interesting to see him do an NRL team.
Oof. Watch this space, more to come, as they say. Fellas, the former